Hello and welcome back to What Do You Got? Where the sun is so bright, our future is so bright, college football looks so bright. And today we got the Golden Domer edition where we have no idea what we're going to talk about, but we're going to figure it the fuck out. All right? My first thing I would like to talk about, my favorite stat of the day. Sorry. If y'all want to pull up that video I just sent you. So, Grambling State played Bethune-Cookman this weekend. 27 players suspended after an all-out brawl on the field. Let me know when you load this up. We'll all start it at the same time.
I already started watching.
All right, just go.
Like a tip.
Just keep it going.
All right, keep it going.
So yeah, they're just. I mean, first off, they're wearing the yellow and the black. No white going on. But honestly, bro, dog of the week goes out to number 11 on Bethune-Cookman. That guy was ready to take on the entire team. Now, the number one rule in a fight in a football game is to leave your helmet on. And I'm sure that guy was trying to, but it got swiped off, and he did not care. He wanted all the smoke. He was looking at 5 different people, waiting for one, and then just knocks one out. Just Rocky style, just straight. The guy just falls straight on the ground. And we actually have an award this week for worst teammate, and it goes out to number 4 on Bethune-Cookman. That guy wanted nothing to do with anything. He just let 11 get 1v7. I don't know if you see that. He's like literally like backing off.
As he runs away, and he's like mixed in with the band. He's such a bitch.
And then if you wait a little longer, you'll see him again. They start pressing number 4, and he's just like, no, don't come after me. But shout out the one cheerleader the dude that just starts recording in the middle of the fight, or whoever that is, whoever has sideline passes in the white shirt. God, Ed Reed got out of Bethune-Cookman at the right time, didn't he?
Well, wouldn't they didn't like pay him or something, or like they wouldn't like clean up the field? It was something weird with that.
Yeah, they just literally spent no money. But didn't Dion not get paid at Jackson State?
I think that's I don't know if that's true or not, but I know it's like a rumor.
Yeah, so I think it was something similar with that, but I mean, they could use Ed Reed to discipline that. 27 players.
That's insane.
Combined from both teams. That's pretty nuts.
That's literally your starting offense, your starting defense, your kicker, your punter, and your holder, and a little bit of change. Like, that's insane.
Whoever number 11 is, I want him on the field. Honestly, bro, let's look into this. Let's look at the Bethune-Cookman roster real quick. Because this could be a little segment on TikTok, to be honest. Can have like a hoopify. Who is number 11 on Bethune-Cookman that took a 1v7 in a football game?
I don't think we need to do the hoopify voice. Like,
not the hoopify voice, but Isaiah Washburn. That's the guy I want on my team, man. He's ready to go into battle on and off the field during the play or after the play. And number 4, Lorenzo Jenkins. Fake as fuck.
I think Lorenzo Jenkins should get punished more than anybody else. Like, if I'm the coach and I see this, I'm like, you know what? At least 11 was ready to fight for his team. But Jenkins, I'm cutting him. I'm like, sorry, bro. Like, you're not ready to die for this shit. Like, this shit doesn't mean anything to you. Like, you're gone.
Yeah, he's out of there, man.
What kind of teammate you want?
11 was the only one fighting, I feel like, on that team. It was just like him versus the whole other team.
It was a 30-second clip, so I'm sure it went on a lot longer. I did see some dude, like, fell over a bench. Some dude got tossed over a bench and just, like, fell right over. Kind of like knocking the dude out, put the shoulder down in hockey, just sending him into the bench, something like that. But HBCU, man, they're just turning up out there. Those are some gritty players.
But it's kind of weird that we started with a HBCU segment because on Friday night I got done with work, got home, and I watched the 2019 Battle of the Bayou, which is between Southern, who's an HBCU school, and I honestly forgot the other one. But like, I just put it on YouTube because I just wanted to watch ball, and there was nothing on live, and I didn't know the outcome of the game, so I was up till like 2 a.m. watching that game. It's actually a wild game. I actually recommend you guys go and watch it. It's fucking insane.
Okay, so could that be a potential trend? Could looking up old games on YouTube that you've never watched and watching the full thing be a new trend, or is that a little bit sweaty?
I think it should be a new trend. I'm probably going to do it again tonight, honestly.
Condensed games for sure. I don't know about like a full 2.5 hours.
It was a 3.5 hour video. Like they had like a whole pregame. They had like a half a pregame show, a halftime show. It was insane. Like commercials. I'm not skipped through the commercials, but it was. I don't know how like they got away with it. Like it's like the full like TV broadcast coverage of the game.
Well, so here's what you should do. You get all your boys in a room every week. Somebody picks one old game where they know the results, right? So they look up the most electric game. Imagine 7 years ago, Northern Illinois took on Bowling Green, and it was a shootout 45-42 on a Wednesday night. But you had no idea. So your boy picks that game. You all sit down, and you just watch 3.5 hours of action from 8 years ago. See if any of the players are in the league. You're like, oh, man, this guy went to NIU. He was an NFL Pro Bowler, something like that. You know, how crazy would that be?
Yeah, I actually love that idea. That sounds like a blast.
Jay's about to do it again tonight by himself.
Oh, yeah.
So
much fun. I was alone. I ended up cracking a couple Bud Lights. I put down a decent amount. I went to bed. I was doing the Warhawk shuffle down the hallway to get back to my bed, man. Let me tell you. Wow.
Sounds like a great time.
That was actually so much fun. I've been having a lot of good times lately here, just by my lonesome.
You might have aged about 20 years by just drinking a few Bud Lights and watching a full YouTube football game from 6 years ago.
An HBCU football game, to be exact.
Yeah.
And you'll never get it. And I was listening to Lainey Wilson and Ella Langley on my speaker while I watched the games. It was an absolutely wild combination, but it was awesome. I had so much fun.
You didn't want to listen to the student announcers in those games?
It was bad. It was bad.
That was pretty bad. Let's talk about some of the upset calls, man. Okay. There were a few upsets this weekend that you guys called, and the biggest one had to be from you, Jay. You predicted Louisville's season would end as an 18.5-point favorite against Cal and JKS.
Dude, JKS throws one of the most pretty back shoulder balls I have ever seen in my life. He was spamming that.
Of all time. And that came out week 1, his first career start against Oregon State. He was just yucking it down the field. Now, we didn't know Oregon State was total dog shit yet.
Yeah.
But he does not care. He's like, fuck it. De Jesus is down there somewhere, and he's going to come up with it.
Absolutely. No, that was a fun one. My little brother was actually in attendance for the game, so he got to watch my stroke of genius happen live, so that was pretty cool.
That's absurd. That's awesome. I mean, Louisville, poor guys, man. Miller Moss. And then on top of it, the coach and Miller Moss and the OC got death threats. And the guy actually got found and arrested for, I believe it was like just alleged, like, they might have called it terrorism. I don't know how.
Yeah, the report I saw was like he was giving them terrorist threats. Which is like, dude, like, I get it. College football is life, but it's not that much of life. Like, that's crazy.
You got to be a sick human being to send death threats after a football game. I know some people love the game, and you can be a little upset when your team loses, but some death threats, especially to Miller Moss, man, he's just trying his best out there, living his best life for his last year eligibility. Louisville shouldn't even be in the playoff talk, man, and y'all should be grateful.
They should be, but losing to Cal's pretty bad.
I think that
he must have had too much coin on the game.
Probably.
Yeah. I think Vegas watched our podcast. They're like, you know what? Let's get this kid the right call. And they chose to have Cal win the game. They called the refs, and they told him, rig it. That's my thought.
You're going to get banned from all sports books, Jay.
Nope, I'm not, because I was negative on the week, and I bet on the Packers last night, so no one's scared of me.
Yeah, but I mean, you just called a plus 700 upset. That's insane. I've seen futures of more than 700. I've never seen somebody outright call a plus 700 upset. That was pretty nuts.
Thank you.
Baldy, you had another big one. UConn takes down who was the ACC favorites in Duke, and now it's back to Georgia Tech. Duke did not show the odds makers anything great to remain as the ACC favorite, which personally I'm a fan of for one reason, because I personally don't want to see two Group of 5 teams in the playoff, and if Duke wins the ACC, I think that is where we are headed.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. It's the top 5 conference winners, no matter what conference. It doesn't matter, right? The ACC doesn't get an automatic bid.
Yeah, that's no automatic Power 4 bid. We somewhat saw it last year, like the rules not be specific. What up, Wyford? With Boise State getting the bye instead of Clemson.
Mm-hmm.
But you look at a situation where Duke wins the ACC now, still at 9-4. You got one-loss James Madison, and then you got two-loss, hypothetically, Tulane, who beat Duke. So you can't throw Duke in over Tulane, and you're not just going to leave out James Madison with one loss, especially because they're probably going to be ranked tonight when they come out. So you would be looking at 2 Group of 5 teams in the playoff, which sounds fun from the outside, from a watcher perspective, probably wouldn't be the best games.
Yeah, it would be fun until you have to watch the games and watch the Group of 5 get murdered in both games.
So let me ask you this, Jay. I know your answer.
Yeah.
Should the Group of 5 get an automatic bid into the playoffs every single year?
No.
I mean, like, who are you really going to put in? Like, either way, that team's probably not going to do much, so you might as well, like, give some love to the Group of 5, I guess is the other side of the argument. But you probably could take, like, 9-3 or even, like SEC team or even, like, another Big 12 team would probably be a better matchup, is the argument. But anyways, the Group of 5 just killed.
Here's where you're looking at that, Baldwin, is you would be taking out the Group of 5 right now, and you'd throw Texas in there. So would Texas put up a better fight against the 5 seed than James Madison would?
Well, we'll find out on Saturday, because that's the matchup. It's going to be the 5 seed versus Texas.
It's the exact matchup that we would get if that happened. So now even if Texas gets their doors ran out, James Madison's not beating Georgia. It's not happening. I think it is the dumbest rule ever, because there are opportunities for the Group of 5 to be ranked in the top 12. When we had a 4-team playoff, there was a Group of 5 team in it. Cincinnati went undefeated and made it into the 4-team playoff. So how is there not a possibility that one Group of 5 team could be ranked top 12, in which they would earn that? They would earn the right to play in the playoff. Last year, Boise earned it. As of right now, I don't think there's a team that's earned it.
Yeah, I don't think they should get an automatic bid. I think you should have to earn it. I think it should be... Honestly, I don't even think the ACC and the Big 12 should get an automatic bid. That might be insane to me. But I don't think they should. Like, granted, I think they'll end up getting in every year. But I think the SEC and the Big 10 should get, like, 5 automatic bids per conference. And then let the other 2 just fight it out.
We just need the Big 12 to come back, man. Some way, somehow. Or not the Big 12, the Pac-12.
Here's what I think we should do. I think we should get all the good teams, or like the decent like programs or places that could be good in the Big 12 and the ACC. Put them in one conference and just make it Power 3 conference. Call it a day.
But who's going to be good in those conferences? There's no way you can it changes every year.
State, Colorado, Texas Tech, they got money. I'm trying to think. BYU's a historically decent program. You know, they've
Miami, Florida State.
Yeah, Miami. It would be an interesting conference. It'd be fun.
It would be fun. It's pretty tough. And I mean, my hot take in the past 2 years has always just been, if you want the best playoff, it's between strictly the SEC and the Big Ten. besides Clemson, when they were on their run, and TCU, who ended up winning a playoff game, those two conferences, other than those two teams, have not won a single playoff game. Even Oklahoma with Baker. So I know we're not supposed to look in the past, but if you want the best games, instead of 8 to 15 point spreads in the first round, which is probably going to happen again, as it did last year, and every single favorite destroyed the underdog in every single game, you need to just make it the big two. But I think we're a few years away from that. I mean, I don't want to say unfortunately. It's fun letting other people get in there, but that's all it is. It's fun until they actually play the game. But now you have Texas Tech, who a lot of people think can compete. And they might be able to. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they can't. Because the only loss, they didn't have their quarterback. I know Will Hammond's pretty good, but they didn't have Baron Morton, who is a fifth-year guy. That's the leader of your team. I think Texas Tech could win a playoff game this year. But other than that, I don't think there's a single team. I mean, we're going to see when Georgia Tech plays Georgia if they can actually compete with them. But if you want the best playoffs, man, I would take the top 6 teams from the Big Ten, top 6 teams from the SEC, make it NFC, AFC style, just how it was back in the day in the NFL. First 2 get a bye, and then you run it from there.
That would require Notre Dame to join one of those 2 conferences, though.
It's about damn time.
But Notre Dame will never join a conference ever. They make way too much money.
And they don't need to.
They don't need to. Like, they don't need to.
Look at it now. Everyone's been raging about them being in the top 10 over Miami that much, and they're not in a conference. They don't have to. They can lose their 2 best games and still be fine.
Here's what's kind of fun, dude, is Miami all of a sudden back in it. If they run up the score in the last 2 games and they're sitting there with 2 losses, they're probably not going to be in the ACC championship, which is going to screw them. But they still have the best resume in the ACC because of that win against Notre Dame. I know it was week 1. I mean, if they beat the hell out of these 2 teams, Miami's going to rise up probably. They were 18, right? They're probably going to be around that 16, 15 to 17 range maybe. So if they keep creeping up a few, what if Oklahoma loses this week? What if Texas loses this week? Does Miami jump them? I don't know. I can't sit here and tell you that they won't. But then those are even more. They're just creeping towards that top 12. Like, is it ridiculous to say Miami is still somewhat in the hunt?
No, I do think they need Oklahoma or Texas to lose. Like, I think they both need them to lose this weekend. Because if any of those teams win, I think they're getting over, even with 3 losses over Miami, maybe. But
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah. I also think they need Duke not to win the ACC. I think if you have a 4-loss conference champion, I don't think that's going to help you out much. So because I think that their odds are very slim, but not dead.
I think Duke winning the ACC would actually help Miami.
Really?
Because then that means Louisville didn't win the conference. That means Virginia didn't win the conference. They all have the same record. And that means Georgia Tech now has 2 losses, and you can't definitively say. You would look at Georgia Tech, they lose the ACC championship. They have 3 losses overall. You can't definitively say that Georgia Tech would beat Miami because you can't. You can't definitively rank them over them, and Duke wouldn't be ranked over them. So what if there's a world where we do get 2 group of 5 teams, and then somehow Miami's an at-large bid? The ACC doesn't get a conference champion, but they have an at-large.
Be the worst college football playoff of all time if that's
like.
Can you really do that?
You can, because it would probably require Notre Dame to lose. But at the same time, what if Miami starts creeping up on Notre Dame, and they end up around 12, and Notre Dame's sitting at 10? Does that somewhat make the playoff committee rethink it? Where they're like, all right, they're close enough now in the rankings to where maybe head-to-head comes back into play. I don't know if that would happen, but there would be a huge discussion about it.
There definitely would be, but I think you just can't drop Notre Dame, especially when they pick up another ranked win this week. I don't think you can drop Notre Dame at all. they set the precedent of Notre Dame's in the playoff if they win out. I think if Notre Dame wins out, they have to be in the playoff because that's the precedent the committee set by ranking them where they did.
Ugly win though? And then what if in the last week of the season they have an ugly win? Like now you're like, oh, now you're actually thinking about it. Like,
Yeah, if they play bad in both games, I think that's different. But I don't see a world where, like Jay's saying, you can't really just like take them as long as they win like decent and it's not like they got bailed out or something the last two games. I really don't think you can just like move them down because their two losses at the first two games of the year, which for some reason the committee doesn't count those as much, which low-key I kind of like. That's another question. Like, should week 1 and week 2 matter the same as later in the year? I don't think it should.
I don't think it should matter the same, but I think you do have to take it into account.
Yeah, you definitely have to take it
on your record. It's still a football game that counts to your record, but I agree. It should, obviously, it's the first 2 weeks of the season. It should come as a little less, but
I think it's more of the way they lost to Texas A&M that they're kind of getting credit for it. By like having the lead, dropping the snap, and then it's a fourth down that Marcel Reed just threw the ball up. The guy came down.
And they got away with a holding penalty. Like there's a lot that went Texas A&M's way for them to beat Notre Dame.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it'll be interesting to see where BYU ends up tonight. Because they can't go below Utah, I don't think. I know they were at home for that game, but I don't see them dropping below Utah. So now, if they drop BYU, does that just mean Utah drops? Or does it mean that BYU, the lowest they can go is 12, and they're still on the outside looking in?
I don't think BYU is going to go not that far because you can't punish them. I feel like the committee hasn't been punishing teams for good losses, so I feel like they're not going to go past 4 spots.
I mean, I know it's
whooped, though. I was
gonna say it's a good team, but they did not compete. It wasn't a competitive game. Texas A&M won that game pretty much as soon as the kickoffs happened. You know?
Yeah, and now you're sitting here with Notre Dame's worst nightmare right now is somehow BYU beats Texas Tech in the Big 12 championship. I think that's where they're kind of sitting right now, where they're going to be like, oh God, and that's not even including the Michigan potentially beating Ohio State. Not many people think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but
they've done it
no one thought it would happen last year, and it did. So you never know. I'm definitely leaning on the side where only 3 Big Ten teams are going to get in, and I think we know those 3 teams. More than likely is going to be the scenario. But it's interesting, dude, because every single playoff projector, everyone just assumes Notre Dame is in, but they have a less than 50% chance on every single playoff projector right now. So it's there's still some stuff that can happen to screw them over. Just simply because they could be the odd man out when teams start beating good teams, and they're just kind of playing, It's nice they have a ranked game this week. That Pitt has been rolling. But
Is it a ranked game this week after what Pat Narduzzi said, where he said he'd happily lose by 100 points? Are you fucking kidding me? This is why I wouldn't be a good college football coach or a good coach at all. Because sorry, I'm excited. If I was Marcus Freeman, I would genuinely try to win that game by 100. And what's Pat Narduzzi going to say? He can't bitch about it. I would run up this fucking score. I would literally try to win that game by 100 in the post-game press conference. Well, why'd you run the score up? He said he'd happily lose by 100. Any chance I get, try to put to 100 fucking points, I'm going to do it. Pat Narduzzi has no, why play the game? Just fucking forfeit then. Save your health for the last 2 games. Fuck Pat Narduzzi and fuck Pitt. So stupid. So pathetic. It's the softest shit I've ever heard. Can you imagine being a player in that locker room? We're going to go try to win this game after the leader of our locker room, the head coach, the guy we're supposed to die on a hill for, said I'd happily lose this game by 100 points. It's fucking soft. I hope they lose out and Pat Narduzzi loses his job. Soft.
Yeah, I mean, I see where he was going with it, where they could still win the ACC, but
yeah, if he just said that.
To just say that you can lose the game by 100 points is an interesting statement from a coach. Technically he's right, but I mean, dude, how do you not say it's just every game's a must-win game. That should be your response. Every game that you go into, you're expecting to win. You want to win. to just openly say you're willing to lose by 100 because it doesn't matter. As you said, Jay, being in a locker room, how do you respond to that when it's supposed to be the biggest game of your life this week? You're hosting game day. You're hosting game day against a top 10 team, and you're like, we don't have to win.
I wouldn't even go to the game if I was a Pitt student. I'd be like, well, we're not going to win this game. We don't fucking want to. Like, this is so pathetic. God, it's a joke. It makes me so frustrated. But do you think that Pat Narduzzi was, like, trying to be like, well, what if we say we don't care if we lose, try to get in Notre Dame's head like we're going to roll over and die? Because I saw someone comment that on, like, a post about it, and I'm like, no, I think Pat Narduzzi is just an idiot.
That'd be quite the
I think he was just trying to get at it's not an ACC game, but he could have just said that so much differently. Like, he could have not have mentioned that, or he could have said, like, yeah, of course we want to win, but obviously it's not an ACC game. Something along those lines. Not that we can lose by 100 and be fine. Like, that part's just a little wild. But,
like, I think if they lose by 100 to Notre Dame and win the ACC, I'm putting a group of 5 team in over them. Like, for sure.
Guys, Georgia finally beat the hell out of somebody this week.
They did.
They didn't barely scrape by. Kind of interesting. You got Gunnar Stockton sitting there at over plus 2,000 odds to win the Heisman. And everyone thinks the Heisman's set. They still got 3 games. What if somehow what if Texas ends up beating Texas A&M and Georgia beats Texas? Georgia's in the SEC championship. They get their revenge on Alabama. Well, he's ahead of Ty Simpson now in the Heisman odds. So now it's just him versus Fernando. What if Fernando loses to Julian Sand? Now it's just Julian Sand versus Gunnar Stockton. You got Gunnar Stockton with, he's got 15 passing touchdowns, only 2 picks on the year, and he's got another 7 on the ground. It's not ridiculous, man. I mean, he doesn't really wow you, I think, when you're watching the games, but, like, he has the stats, and he has a hell of a schedule left where they have Texas, a 1-loss Georgia Tech, and then potentially an SEC championship. You win those 3 games, he's right in there, man. He's right in there.
Yeah.
But a lot easier said than done that they're going to win all 3 games.
Mendoza or Sane just probably aren't going to lose those, the issue.
Well, one of them has to lose the Big Ten championship, and they don't vote on the Heisman until after that.
So, yeah, that's probably what's going to come. Whoever wins, though, hasn't lost, and they're like the front 2 runners. So whoever wins probably wins the Heisman, maybe.
What about the man with the best mustache in college football, the linebacker out of Texas Tech, Joey Rodriguez? Do you think he should have any Heisman? Because I think that people who think he should win the Heisman are not very bright.
Hasn't he forced like 10 turnovers this year?
Yeah, he's had a great season,
nuts.
but he's also not statistically the best linebacker in the country. So I don't understand how he deserves to be in the Heisman conversation.
I mean, we saw something like that happen with Aiden Hutchinson, where it was like Aiden Hutchinson finished second in the Heisman, but he's just not going to win. Like, you're not going to win as a defensive guy. It's just so rare. Charles Woodson won as a defensive guy, but he was also playing offense. Travis Hunter, 2A player. It's like,
well, Travis Hunter won the
players just don't win the Heisman.
Yeah. I don't know. I think he's having a great season. It should be an All-American, but Heisman or even Heisman hopeful is a little insane to me.
Guys, the Heisman Trophy has a guy holding a football on it. The Heisman Trophy gets the ball in their hands every single time. Like, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be, I hate to say it, but it's like defensive players don't win NFL MVP. Now, I don't think it should just be quarterbacks. I agree with that it's like every year it's just, oh, you have the best team, you're the quarterback of the team. Like, if you're not clearly the best player, then you shouldn't win it. But, which they did with Travis Hunter last year, and then they kind of just threw in, it was Travis Hunter or Genti, and then they were like, all right, who are the 2 best quarterbacks? We'll throw them as the last 2 nominees, So it's kind of interesting how that works, but I don't know. The Heisman is interesting.
I think that's what made last year's race so much fun and so special, was that it was 2 non-quarterbacks who were the only 2 clear-cut possible abilities to win the Heisman. And this year, you got like 3 or 4 quarterbacks who are all playing decent football, but it's not like they're having unbelievable seasons. And it's just kind of just a quarterback race, and one of them's throwing to 3 future first-round picks. So,
I mean, yeah, there's 3 games left, and there's not a single quarterback with like 30 passing touchdowns. Like Bo Nix in his senior year had like 40 passing touchdowns, and he didn't win the Heisman.
Yeah.
So no one's putting up the stats to do it, and that's why everyone's so confused, which is why there's definitely an opportunity for someone to come through. But I think the only two that have a chance to do that are Gunnar Stockton and Marcel Reed, even Jacob Rodriguez, or like a Jeremiah Smith. Say Jeremiah Smith just goes off one game. You know, maybe it's against Michigan. Maybe somehow he has 250 receiving yards against Michigan. Everyone's like, oh, you know, everyone knows he's one of the best players in the country.
I wouldn't count him out just yet. He could have a huge game this week. He's really
13 tutties, 1,000 yards. Probably not, but I think Marcel Reed's like the top, probably outside shot. I mean, if he just goes undefeated, wins the SEC, he's definitely will be there. He'll definitely be in the top 3.
Yeah, that's interesting, man. Well, now there's the debate where it's like, all right, all these people are all of a sudden saying that Texas A&M should be ahead of Indiana, and then following it up by claiming that Indiana's close game against Penn State had nothing to do with it. Liar. You're just blatantly lying and just for no reason. Like, I'll sit here and tell you there's more of an argument that Texas A&M should be ahead of Indiana now because they had a close game. Like, that definitely adds on to it. I don't know how you can say that A&M should be ahead, but then follow it up with Indiana's close game where they barely scraped by, had nothing to do with it. And Texas A&M, I get they beat the hell out of Mizzou with the backup QB. Like, Mizzou couldn't really do much on offense. I will definitely say that, and you could just visibly tell during the game. So you don't know if that's Texas A&M's defense or if it's the new quarterback. Like, you're sitting there, you're just playing both sides because you're scared to admit that you actually judge week by week who should be ranked where, which is what they should do. Because there's this notion, like just this unspoken notion that where you're initially ranked, you just like can't go down from there. I feel like it's very rare for a team to be ranked like 4th in the initial rankings, win out and end up at like 5. Even if every team behind the first team behind them or in front of them do the same thing, nothing changes, which is dumb to me. I think they should change week to week. You should look at that game and be like, all right, well, Oregon barely beat Iowa, so now is Indiana's win against Oregon as good as it looked before? Well, maybe not, and Texas A&M's just been destroying teams all year. Hell yeah, Texas A&M should be 2. I'm not going to sit here and tell you they shouldn't. You know what I mean? I judge week by week. That doesn't mean you change your opinion every single week because some team has one bad game. Like, I think it's more of Texas A&M just consistently beating the shit out of everybody.
Yeah,
and now also, Indiana plays a dead Penn State team, barely scrapes by. Well, they also barely scraped by against Iowa, but thank God they have the win against Oregon. So I don't know what you want Texas A&M to do. They're just beating who's put in front of them.
They definitely have the best resume.
I was going to say, they have the best resume. They have the best win. They beat the hell out of everyone. That's why, in my top 25, I had them 1. Like, I think they are the best team in the country. And I know a couple weeks ago I said that I don't think they're national title contenders, and I want to take that statement back. And I do absolutely believe they proved me wrong. I think this is a fucking great football team. That defense is fantastic. Marcel Reed and KJ Conception got some shit moving over there. Yeah, I think Texas A&M is the best football team in the country right now, if you ask me.
It's hard to disagree with. It really is.
Disagree with.
I'm still taking Ohio State, man. I don't care that they haven't played anybody. It's just like, dude, they're so good. Their roster is so good. But that's the other thing. Texas A&M's roster is incredible, too. But Ohio State, like, dude, I mean, what if Ohio State just goes in the Big Ten championship and beats Indiana by 2 touchdowns? Like, to be honest, that's where I'm leaning. I think Ohio State would beat Indiana by 2 touchdowns again.
2 touchdowns?
By 2 touchdowns. Dude, they look like they're in a completely different league than everyone else. And they have an NFL roster, dude. I saw a mock draft the other day. There were 3 Ohio State players going in the top 5. And Julian Sayin and Jeremiah Smith are not eligible for the draft. So, they're an NFL team, dude. Like, actually, like, I get, if roles were reversed and Indiana had their resume with Ohio State's name, And Ohio State, if Indiana played Ohio State's schedule and had the Indiana name, like, I think Ohio State would still be one. I think that's the only reason they're one is because they're Ohio State. They're a historic program, and they won the national championship last year. But to return all those guys, when you win the national championship, and then you just plug and play, the number one quarterback recruit in his class for Will Howard, who ended up being a 6th-round pick. It wasn't like he was like anything special. He was good. He was above average. He was great, to be honest.
Yeah, national title.
But so is Julian saying. Everyone's like, oh, this guy hasn't had to throw the ball all year. 3 straight games of 300 passing yards when they start throwing with him. Like, they're incredible. We're at the point where I'd be shocked if Ohio State didn't pull it out. But that's the beauty of the 12-team playoff, is anything can happen.
I think Ohio State is heavy favorites still win the Natty. So I don't think your take is I'm looking at FanDuel right now. They're plus 200, and the next closest is Indiana.
Nuts.
Yeah, I saw plus 175 today on ESPN Bet.
Yeah.
ESPN is going broke. Fun fact of the day.
Yeah, they might have to drop Disney, or Disney might have to drop ESPN. I'm pretty sure someone was telling me.
Right? Well, ESPN Bet's going out of business. I
don't know about all that other stuff, but I know ESPN Bet's going out of business.
Yeah.
And then that's why they started being assholes about YouTube TV. Man, no, but
yeah, I don't know, but Ohio State looks pretty damn good, man. I'm not gonna sit here and deny that. And they looked really damn good this week.
That Indiana catch, holy crap, though. That was an insane catch.
That was unbelievable.
Yeah.
That was identical to the Jackson Smith-Njigba catch during COVID, where he's jumping out of bounds, drags the left foot in when he's at Ohio State, but there's no one in the stands because it's the COVID year. But this guy at Indiana just does it in the biggest moment of the game to seal the deal. Good for him, man.
Yeah, that was I'll never forget where I was. I was sitting in the parking lot at Perkins Stadium watching the tailgate next to mine, that TV, because it was on. I'm like sneaking my head around 2 people, and I just go, holy fucking shit. And everyone's like, what happened? I'm like, that kid just made the play of the year over there. So it's kind of a cool moment. But
you're saying that's a where were you moment?
Yeah, I'll never forget where I was. I was like, holy shit, that guy just won the game. That's unreal. That was a great play.
That far.
Oh, I will. I also remember exactly where I was during the kick 6. It was in my grandma's basement with Brady Schaumoser, Jack Kane, and Charlie Kane.
All right, kick 6 is definitely a where were you moment, though, for sure.
Yeah, I think everyone knows exactly where they were on the kick 6.
Yeah. I was watching by myself in my living room, jumping up and down. I don't know why. And my mom's like, what's going on? I'm like, the craziest thing just happened ever.
Tom, where were you for the kick 6?
I was just at home in my living room. I was like, oh my God, it's going in. Wait, not even close.
I was like, oh my God, Auburn's going to win the football game!
And then he just cribbed it. It was pretty crazy. Is Garrett Nussmeier going to start this week for LSU?
He shouldn't.
Seen enough.
Not starting him, you're giving up on your season when you don't start him though. That's the thing.
Why?
What season do they have left?
I saw someone make a good point. They don't have much of a season left, but before the wheels just completely tumble, I saw someone make a good point where you saw that Whit Weeks clip where it's like he told Garrett Nussmeier, he's like, if you come back, we're winning the Natty. Looks like a total idiot by saying that now, but that's how much they believe in that guy. That's how much control of the locker room that guy had. You're throwing a new guy in there. It can definitely create a spark, or it can definitely just be like, all right, so it's over as a player. A lot of people you have an interim head coach. You just lost a heartbreaking game to Alabama where you just couldn't move the ball, and it's just like our lead. Like he's not going to lead the same, knowing he's not commanding that huddle. So it's like that's kind of the devil's advocate of not playing him. But I'm kind of with you guys where you may as well show what Michael Van Buren has to potentially make the job look a little better.
Exactly.
You throw MVB in there and he balls out. Now, you're Lane Kiffin. You're like, well, they got this guy. I mean, he knows about Michael Van Buren though, but maybe like I don't know who else they're trying to hire. Somebody else sees that they have a future quarterback that'll come back. That's been in the locker room for a year. Might just make it look a little more appealing.
Saban is currently the favorite for the job, actually, which I don't believe at all.
I don't think Saban's
No,
going
so I don't know how he's the favorite. I don't know. I mean, all those betting odds are probably like who just people bet on the most, but because no one really knows.
They have no idea what's about to happen.
I still think Joe Brady should be the next head coach at LSU. Personally.
I don't hate that. You guys see the Brian Kelly stuff though? How LSU's trying to claim they like technically didn't fire him, and now they're saying they fired him like for cause, so they don't have to pay the buyout.
I've seen a little bit. I haven't seen like that much of it, but it seems like it could get kind of interesting in these next couple weeks.
Well, they're gonna have to like go to court and like claim Brian Kelly like did something to get fired for cause and not just like bad performance. Which I don't know how they're gonna prove that, but
I don't know. It sounds like everyone fucking hates him over there, so it might not be that hard to prove. I have a couple players go, he touched me. And then all of a sudden, Brian Kelly's in prison, and we got some fucking wild shit going on.
Well, I'm pretty sure all they have to do is bring in that safety that is now a vegetable, and he's got to type in his little computer that Brian Kelly made him go back in the game after he was concussed.
Dude.
And I think LSU will win that. I think LSU will win that one right then and there.
Yeah, but then they're going to ask him why didn't they fire him right away? So that's the issue.
Because it was an ongoing investigation.
Yeah, well, they could start making up bull crap.
Yeah, dude, you can't prove that it wasn't. That behind the scenes you weren't going over what exactly happened.
Dude, I can't believe you just called that guy a fucking vegetable. That's so
I mean, dude.
He's gonna type. You just disrespected that guy so much. I called him a vegetable, and then he's gonna go type in his little computer. Like, my God.
I mean, that's just that. I feel like that just wins LSU the case, though. That just wins them the case.
Yeah, it should.
Brian Kelly's just pissed off because he knows no one's going to hire him.
I thought that was interesting.
Like, it's going to be like a year or two before someone hires him.
I wouldn't. I hope he never gets another job, genuinely. I mean, he will.
He will.
You know what I really want?
He did not get his full buyout whatsoever either, didn't he?
I don't know.
Well, no, that's the whole thing going on.
Yeah, they're not trying to pay him at all.
Yeah. They tried settling. They offered him like $30 million instead of like the 54 or whatever it was.
He was just like, nah.
Yeah, he's like, nah. But now they're trying to pay nothing.
Yeah, I feel like with Brian Kelly's like history, I feel like $30 million not to go to court doesn't sound too bad. Where you're gonna get your name dragged through the mud in court. You're gonna get paid $30 million to not coach football anymore and not get your name dragged through the mud. $30 million, that's a lot of fucking money.
Well, there's been a lot of coaches that don't have to go to court for their buyout. Like Jimbo, I think was fine. But
but no one else, no other school had any case to say we fired this guy for anything other than poor performance. And with Tom's point, LSU absolutely does have a case. So I think that's why if I'm Brian Kelly, I would have taken that money.
This is a debate.
Well, should we get into trivia? Jay, do you have our trivia?
Yeah, so I have two options, or we could do both. I have like top 5 passing yard leaders like per game, or like most first round draft picks top 10.
Hang on. I have to make an announcement.
Oh, yeah.
So, this segment of trivia is brought to you by SeatGeek. SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app. It makes purchasing tickets easy. The green seats are the good deals, and the red, not so much. So download SeatGeek and use promo code GUYSSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. That's GUYSSPORTS. One word for $20 off your first purchase. Now, let's get into trivia.
All right.
That's
So
pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. Fuck yeah, boys. That fired me up.
we're
Let's
sponsored.
fucking do trivia. Wait, before we go trivia, can we talk about Wisconsin upsetting fucking Washington
Oh yeah, that was awesome.
real quick? Fucking nuts! The game was crazy. The punter was their leading passer for Wisconsin, and they won the game in fucking snow and rain. Like, dude, that's awesome. Shout out Luke Fickle.
Welcome to the Big Ten, Washington. Because you're playing ground and pound football in the snow in Madison, Wisconsin, and they announced Luke Fickle will be back, and the boys rallied behind him. The quarterback might not have rallied. Well, all three quarterbacks.
I was going to say, which quarterback?
Rallied.
The punter was the only one who looked good.
All three quarterbacks did not rally. Carter Smith, I believe he was 3 for 12 with 8 passing yards. True freshman. Quite the debut, though, in the snow. But the Wisconsin Badgers continue to look to potentially make a bowl game. Whoa.
Season's not over.
Got to beat Indiana. Got to beat Minnesota. Got to beat Illinois. Won't be easy, but it sure as hell ain't over. But I'm glad to see that the boys at Wisconsin rallied. Got that win, ended Washington's season, and ended my future Heisman bet on DeMond Williams. But at least it was the Badgers that did it, because getting a Big Ten win is huge for the program right now.
That is huge. All right, now get back into SeatGeek sponsored trivia.
SeatGeek sponsored trivia. 2 lists. Don't know if we want to do both or one. Top 5 passing yard leaders per game, or top 10 first round draft picks all time.
Let's do both.
Both? Okay. We'll start with the passing yard leaders per game.
Is that this year?
Yeah, this year. Yeah.
Is it Power 4 or everything?
It's only Power 4.
Jay, you want to put the first one? You want to guess the first one?
Do I have to?
I can guess the first one if you want me to.
Man, you get it started. My brain is not working right now.
Sawyer Robertson, sorry.
Bang. In the 2.
Josh Hoover.
In the 4. Bang.
That would have been my guess too, Jay. That was a good one. Give me Jaden Mayava.
In the 5.
I mean, I'm thinking Sam, but I think his early start wasn't enough. I'm trying to think about teams that just throw the hell out of the rock. Oh, give me Dante Moore.
Wrong.
Can you guys hear me right now?
Yeah.
All right, it says trying to reconnect. I don't know what's going on.
You cut out when you said Jaden Mayava, but you've been good ever since.
Bet. Give me Darian Mensah.
In the 1.
They're going to win the fucking ACC.
So
Wait.
there is one more,
Not him.
and there will be a bonus at the end.
What's the bonus?
This guy got injured, but technically he's number 1. So if you didn't get injured.
QBs who got injured.
So he's off the list, but technically he's number 1.
Gotcha.
But you guys are missing the 3 right now.
3. Yeah, I honestly don't have the damnedest clue. Wow. Tough look for the brand.
Yeah, I mean, I have one guess, but it could be totally stupid.
Rip
Zero.
it.
Like Luke Altmaier.
No. My hint will be really good offense, really bad defense. 2
Oh,
options.
Jalen Green.
And no. But the thought process was good.
Like shaky, inconsistent defense, or shows up sometimes and sometimes doesn't, or
No, never shows up.
never shows up. CJ Carr.
No. Okay, no. And these defenses showed up.
That's a crazy guess. Instantly ripped.
Jay was on the right track, Taylon Green, kind of same conference. I don't know if that gives it away. So it does not give it away.
I was thinking Peyton Thorne, but I don't
Who's
know
the
why.
other SEC team?
I have no idea why I was thinking Peyton Thorne. Peyton Thorne's not even in the SEC anymore. He's fucking out of college.
Think about the other SEC team that has no defense. But their offense is pretty good.
Ole Miss.
Trinidad?
No.
Oh.
Dude, I'm blanking. This is so
You guys got to get this. Just think about the SEC.
No defense, all offense, SEC.
Yeah.
Can I phone a friend?
Yeah.
Whiteford! Whiteford!
I gotta get it before Whiteford.
Whiteford!
Diego Pavia.
No.
I know it!
Okay.
Joey Aguilar.
Bang.
Oh, duh.
Tennessee's
Fuck.
defense never shows up.
Tennessee's defense is ass. Honestly,
Wow,
forgot
that was-
they had
you
a
just-
defense.
How did we just blank on that?
Yeah, that was tough. And then the extra guy who got hurt is also Power 5.
He is technically, if you guys want to go for that one too.
Is he out
This
for
team
the year?
slings the rock like no other team. Like, so much. Like, look at pass attempts. They're going to be super high. This year and last year, they were built
It's
like
Steve Angeli.
bang.
Clemson. That's Syracuse.
They
Fuck,
sling the rock.
Kyle
40
McCord
times.
was the nation's leading passer last year.
Kyle McCord.
And now fucking Ricky Collins is just god awful at football. He's terrible. Good thing they went out and got Angeli. Guy, I guess it really mattered, but
Yeah, I mean, rough injury. All right, down the second list. Top 10 first round draft picks all time. You get a point for one correct guess.
Do you mean like what schools?
Yeah, schools.
All right, I'm going to go Alabama.
Alabama in the 3 with 81.
Ohio State.
In the 1 with 91.
Georgia.
Sorry, I gotta scroll on this list. It's like an article. Georgia in the Georgia in the 10 with 48.
This is all time, right?
Yeah, all time. I think it's the NFL draft started in like 1936.
I feel like I gotta go Michigan. They're the most winning program of all time.
Was that a guess, Jay?
It was.
All right, Michigan in the 7 with 53.
LSU.
LSU, I think, is in the. Oh, scrolling the wrong way. But they're definitely on this list. In the 8 with 51.
Florida State.
I don't think Florida State makes the list.
Oklahoma.
Oh, how'd I guess Florida State? That's stupid.
Oklahoma's definitely on here. In the 9 with 50. Tom's getting
Texas.
all the low ones.
Texas.
Nope.
What up, Big Lex?
Jesus.
You're missing the
I am.
6.
Yeah, so get out of here.
6,
Get out
5,
of here.
4, and 2.
Who'd you get?
No one. I fucking suck. I guess
You're missing the
Texas.
6, 5, 4, and 2.
Miami?
Miami in the 5 with 67. Honestly, number 6 I feel like it's kind of hard.
Nebraska.
No.
Why do I?
Notre Dame.
Notre Dame in the 4.
I'll guess Pitt because they have the most all-time Hall of Famers.
Pitt is not on the list.
Florida.
That was the hard one, I thought, in the 6.
That was
You're missing the
impressive.
2.
Get it, Timmy. I know you got it.
USC.
Bang.
Let's go!
85.
on! Fight on!
I just went on a fucking run right there.
You did. I'm surprised you got Florida. I was not expecting that one. Like, I thought that was one of the harder ones.
Well, I know like the top like 15 all-time wins, so I was just going off of that. Like, but I didn't think Penn State was on there, so it was between those two. Shit, bro. Tebow was a first rounder.
Kyle Pitts was too.
Yeah.
So was Darius Tony.
Bust you.
Bust you. That's why Lane Kiffin won't leave.
Minus 300 nowadays. It's all right though. What do they know?
He's minus
Thanks for
300.
joining our trivia
Yeah.
segment brought to you by SeatGeek.
What is section by SeatGeek? Thank you, SeatGeek.
Shout out SeatGeek.
Any final thoughts?
Nope.
All right. That'll be all. What do you got? Bang.